In this video right here, I said that I wanted to push a prestige for this season, and the reality is that in just 20 hours from now, the season will be over. At the time of recording this video, my Sani is currently sitting at 1701 trophies, aka 174 global. So in theory, I already have the prestige in my pocket. But in the last days of the season, people start pushing like crazy. And I did that as well, because just 5 days ago or so, I don't really remember, my Sani was sitting at 1000 trophies. So because 174 global is very close to 200 and I don't want to risk my prestige, now I'm going to play one last game to make sure I get the prestige. But before showing you this final game, let's rewind for a second and let's see what happened 5 days ago. So it all started while I was scrolling on the leaderboard to choose which brawler to actually try to prestige. And after checking for a while, we decided to go for Sani. Mostly because his prestige was very low. Just 1500 5 days ago or less, now I don't really remember when we started the push. So we started a push, and since the very few trophies about 1000 are pretty easy, in just 40 minutes we got 200 trophies. Then one of my teammates had to go, so we stopped the push for the day. So on day 2 things went a little bit differently, simply because the friend of mine that had to go on day 1 actually could not join us anymore, forcing me to find someone else to continue. So I had to go for Ferrix and Pave, playing from one of his secondary accounts, Pandora. They're actually really good, not gonna lie, especially now because Bull received a rework for his super, that now can be controlled better, but also because they are very experienced players, and the map was good for basically the comp in general. Carl, Bull and Sani. Believe it or not, this comp got us a very good win rate, and in just an hour and 30 minutes, we gained 300 trophies, achieving 1500 in total. On day 3, we had to give it the last shot, as at the time, the season would last for just another couple of days. Therefore, we locked in, and we divided the push in 2 different parts, morning and afternoon. We did this because in the afternoon I had to go to the gym, and believe me, once I got back home, even after a good cold shower, I didn't have any energy to play Process. So luckily we got to 1700 before I had to go to the gym, and there we ended the push. In the first part of the push, in the morning, I played again with Ferrix and a guy called Subeme, and we got about 80 trophies as we ended up at 1583. Simply because I had to have lunch, but just before shutting the game down, I checked down the leaderboard and saw this. Only 48 positions away from the prestige zone, and top 10 player in my country. Yeah, I know it's weird to call it part 2, but I can't really call it day 4 because the map is the same. Anyways, right after lunch at roughly 2:30 PM, we started playing again with Ferrix and Pave, that firstly used his second account Pandora, but during the push, he decided to switch to his main account. We kept playing Sani, Bull and Carl for a while, but since the map was different from day 2 and we were playing at 1600, we lost a little bit more, and frustration began to be felt. So we changed the comp a little. Pave played Dyna for a while Ferrix was playing Bull. Then Ferrix switched to Spike and Pave switched to Mortis. And finally, when we convinced Pave to play Stu, Ferrix came back to playing Bull. After all, the last push was the hardest one. Not because the map was not good, but because the level of the gameplay was pretty higher than the previous days. Now, if you're thinking that day 3 ends here, well, you're right. But the push is not over yet, because as I said at the beginning of the video, I have one last game to show you. Now, you might think that I wanted to play one more game just for fun, but actually this is not true. In fact, I was basically forced to do so, as overnight we went from here to here. So yeah, that's a lot of position to lose in a single night, right? Anyways, this game was actually terrible, so I'm not really gonna show it. But what you need to know is that we actually won. And believe it or not, we gained 58 positions with this single game. Now though, there was a problem, because there was still one night left before the end of the season, and this number was rising up pretty quickly. Okay, so we needed day 5 as well, the last day of the season, the 3rd of July, just 2 hours before the season ended. During this final day, we had to get some other wins to make sure once and for all that we actually got the prestige. And so, that's what we did, as without any problem, we smashed through it. Yeah, almost without any problems. But except this little unexpected event, everything went smooth. So, after reaching 1732 trophies, I waited for 40 minutes straight until 11 o'clock for the moment you've all been waiting for. We smashed the prestige with a 44th position in the global leaderboard. And as always, thanks for watching.